So your heart was broken a long time ago, just like
Mm-hmm.
mine. So when we got this the other night, it was Friday night into Saturday. It was Friday. It was
Mm-hmm.
Friday because it was Ball
Yeah.
Busters. Yeah, it's Friday when they dropped this stupid, retarded 5-minute mini episode of
Yes, for a
David
charity.
Tennant of David Tennant 14, not
Mhm.
11, 14.
So
And-
I just want to set the stage a little bit here. So for Dre and I don't know, Ryan, anybody who's not familiar with Doctor Who, one of the two primary antagonists of the show is this character called Davros. He's the inventor of the Daleks, those creatures next to him, those metal tank things, Dre. And
Okay.
he's artificially extended his life. He started out as a normal human type figure, an alien human like, but he's constantly cybernetic enhancement to extend his life. He's thousands of years old at this point, but that takes a toll. His face is all disfigured. He has to stay in this wheelchair. It's a life support system as much as anything else, but he wants his Daleks to exterminate all life in the galaxy. Or in the universe. That's his goal, is to be the dominant race, the only race. And he's a great villain. He's been around since the 70s. And this is what he looked like in 2008 when he was reintroduced into New Who. Very iconic look. Stands out. Everyone knows who this character is. But Russell T Davies, who originally did the show back in 2005 to 2009, recently came back to showrun. And he's decided that this is offensive to wheelchair users.
What?
Because it associates disability with evil.
Wait, hold on.
That's a direct quote.
Okay, so is he retarded?
That's just gonna say, is he fucking retarded?
Well, so, what it is though is he's gay. He's very gay.
Yes,
he always
very
knew
gay.
this.
He's been gay for a long time. Yeah,
ever since
decades.
he restarted Doctor Who in 2005, not news to anybody. And guess what? None of us cared. None of us cared.
No one gave a shit.
And problem is now he had tragedy in his life with his husband or his partner, whatever it was. And that, as Jed has said in the past, that kind of broke him, and he dove headfirst into ideology. And he has tied his ideology to his sexuality now and to everything he creates. So it is now an ideological clusterfuck.
So he's changing the canon, Dre. He's saying that Davros actually never looked like this. We've got to change the past for a modern lens so that we don't associate disability with evil. So he's pretending that this is what Davros always looked like now. Instead of that great iconic design that everyone knows and recognizes, he's just some dude in a Yahtzee-looking uniform now.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say, so he looks like he's part of the SS. I mean, that's what we're doing here.
I mean, the
These people
Daleks
are
have
so
always
broken.
been a metaphor for the Yahtzees. They're with their race aspect, their domination aspect. But yeah, they're just like, instead of the iconic design, they're like, let's make him look even more Yahtzee. It's at least the same actor, but
yeah, I have a question, Jed. So the make sure Davos. That's
Davros.
Davros. Okay. So this character has been around since the 60s and forever and a day, and has been a major antagonist, I would assume. Okay.
Yeah.
Top two.
Major antagonist. And the fact of the matter is that he's in this bionic chair in order to extend his life so he can continue to do evil things. I would.
Yes.
To continue. Okay.
He was evil before he was disabled.
Yeah.
Okay. What's that got to do with handicapped people? What's that got to do with wheelchair people?
Nothing.
I'm very confused. See, this is the thing with that modern far left nonsensical garbage. I always get confused when they always miss the point. The point isn't the fact that the person's in a wheelchair. The point is that he constructed this thing to maintain his existence so he can do evil things. It's got nothing to do with him being handicapped. It's got what he's an evil person and wants to do evil things, and his body is decaying because he's a human. So that means he would need that life support system to get around. It's got nothing to do with, we don't want handicapped people to be looked at as evil. No, people can be evil and they happen to be handicapped. That's how it works. It's not somebody gets in a wheelchair and then out of nowhere, I want to destroy all fill in the blank race here. That's not how it works. You're a piece of trash before you get in the chair. You don't go into the chair and transform into garbage. That's not how it works. So this design now, we're a German of Yahtzee descents now. I'm going to assume is that it because that's the only villains we can think of.
Basically.
Yeah.
And let me guess, he can walk around and all the great stuff.
Oh yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
No
issues.
And the great thing is he's still white, right? That's the kicker.
Of course.
So as long as you're white, you can be as evil unless you're handicapped. Then we gotta heal your legs so you can be non-handicapped and evil, but still white.
So this isn't the only disability thing he's done recently. He made a big statement like 6 months ago or a while back that said he's going to make the TARDIS wheelchair accessible because the chairs, the stairs in previous TARDIS interiors have been offensive and not accessible. So there is actually someone in the 60th, I believe, who will be... there's actually two people, I think, who will be wheelchair users in that one. One who is a very elderly man who was in the show previously who can't walk. So he's going to be in the TARDIS. We know Wilfred Mott's going to be back in his wheelchair. But there's also a disabled woman who's a young woman who's going to be in the TARDIS as well.
Wait. Okay. Help my brain real quick. Because I'm not in depth in who, so I'm not even going to pretend. But the TARDIS is the phone booth, right?
Yes.
That's the phone booth. You can't put a wheelchair in there. What?
Well, it's bigger on the inside.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like a dimensional.
Yeah,
thing.
but the thing is that these people, these are the worst kind of people because they project their own discriminatory thoughts on other people, and they say they're doing it for a good intentions, right? It's one of the reasons that it's like, oh well, you know, we can't have black people be the bad guy, like, you know, because that's racist. It's like, no, you making that assumption based on their skin color is what's racist. Like,
I made that point in my video. It's like none of us thought black people were orcs.
Yeah,
and none of us thought Davros was evil because he was in a wheelchair.
Yeah, it's nonsensical to have these thoughts, but these weirdos that make entertainment now, like, they're just broken. I mean, they are literal damaged goods. These are broken human beings who they have nothing better to do. Their life is too good, so they have to basically vomit their own discriminatory thoughts on other people. And normal Americans are tired of it.
Yeah.
Well, Dre, this is what the TARDIS looks like on the inside for the 11th Doctors, at least. So there's stairs, there's all sorts of things. That's the phone booth door that you see there. So it's bigger on the inside, but there's been stairs in most of the designs.
So I'm confused. So help me out. So inside is a interdimensional room or whatever.
Multiple.
So they're going to get rid of stairs and put ramps in there. Like what? That's the idea.
There will be no stairs in at least the console room. Maybe because the TARDIS is actually infinite in interior size.
That's what I was suspecting. So they can't put an elevator in that piece. Is there an elevator in there?
I don't know.
Is there something that we've ever seen? Hovercraft?
We rarely go beyond in the TARDIS. We rarely go beyond the control room. Only
99% of it's in this room.
I mean, but I'm just thinking because I know nothing. That's what I'm saying. I'm going this knowing nothing. In my head, if I wanted to do that, why don't I just put an elevator or like a hovercraft or something creative in there?
He has the technology to make hover chairs. I mean, Daleks, they float. He made a quadricycle, which is basically a hovering bicycle for a kid once. He can. He's just like, all right, I'll make your wheelchair float. But instead, it's like, we got to be accessible.
We have to show it. To show
that's retarded, man. I don't.
Well, this is also retarded right here. I mean, this is when Tenant 14 enters this episode.
Are we going to watch it?
Just for this clip, this 1 second. Here.
Okay. So, Dre, I want to preface this with you. So, Davros, the guy we were just talking about, he invented these new creatures called Daleks, which are like squid-like creatures who drive around in those metal tanks that you saw. Okay. And the Daleks are some of the most intimidating foes in Doctor Who. They're like Yahtzees, but they're nearly unstoppable. When the Daleks were reintroduced in 2005, there's an episode where it's just one Dalek against an entire compound of heavily trained mercenaries.
And the funny thing is, in the past, their weakness was stairs. And in that episode, the Doctor's going, "Oh, stairs, what are you going to do?" Then the Dalek decides to hover.
It's just
and go up.
Hovering.
But to connected to what we were just talking about.
Like they have a weird design. Like originally it was basically an upside down trash can with a whisk and a plunger, but even in the old show they made them intimidating. They were fearsome, they were difficult. Even one Dalek was insane to fight, and they were just pure evil, pure hate. The one thing that they say pretty much is exterminate. That's their catchphrase.
I want to do the voice, but I'll break everybody's eardrums if I do it.
So I just want that image in your head before we watch this clip.
It's in there.
All right, so now this is not David Tennant 11. This is David Tennant 14. They just look the same, but they aren't the same. And this is how you know in this one line right here.
Just passing by because I got a bit lost. It's funny. 60 minutes ago, I was this really brilliant woman.
No, you weren't.
No.
You were an insufferable bint that nobody liked.
Oh, you got to keep.
Thank
we
God
gotta watch the rest of it.
I know, but thank God this is 14 and not 11. This doesn't tarnish
10.
11. 10, sorry.
Oh my
10.
God. And I completely just spaced this. The fact that they did a Rosa Parks episode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What?
Oh, and they did a Rosa Parks,
Parks,
but it's the female white Karen-looking lady who's responsible for Rosa doing what she does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Rosa Parks isn't brave and decent and dignified and standing up for civil liberties? She's being held up by some white broad?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. Now,
okay.
in this thing...
Yeah, they literally just tarnished something that's absolutely historical. It's just disgusting that they did that.
Now, in this little mini thing, as Jed said, the doctor has accidentally arrived at the moment Davros is putting together the Dalek prototype. And it has this giant evil mechanical arm. And when the doctor realizes where he is, like, oh no, I've interfered this. And this is how the Daleks get the.
So he accidentally broke off a massive claw arm, Dre, when he showed up. And so he's going to fix it.
You broke the multi-claw adaptable thingy-majig. Oh, yeah. Right.
The quirky music, I hate that too.
Just pausing for transformative purposes.
So yeah, this is the invention of the most evil creatures. This is basically going back and meeting baby Hitler, and they're just doing quirky, like, oh, cool, this
honestly,
is so weird.
This should be a
ideas. Don't tell me.
This should be a fixed point in time that
it should be
can't go to.
Yeah,
he shouldn't touch.
Yeah.
That's a toilet plunger.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Now, we've seen what the plunger arm does. It's horrible what it does to people. It's horrible.
It could suck the life out of you.
And it's terrible. I mean, so this is a joke. It's a joke. And I got something else here, Jed. I don't know if you saw this one.
So yeah, Dre, he throws it to the dude and he puts it on instead of the evil claw, and then Davros comes in and looks at it with like romantic music, and it's just like, oh, it's like, I love it. I love the plunger instead of the evil claw.
Have you seen what RTD is doing interacting with people?
I saw that first one. I haven't seen the second one yet.
Second one. Well, the first one, people are criticizing this, and RTD is basically being
even
a bitch.
woke people, like people who use terms like ableist, are saying he's being ableist by this. That's not a term that I would use or most of us would use, but people who use that term are still saying this is wrong.
Yeah.
What the heck is ableist?
It's basically it's a racist, but it's the term for discrimination.
You said too much. Okay.
Disabled people.
It's made up horse shit.
Okay.
So first person here is criticizing the whole realtor thing we talk about. He just says tough. Second one here. Will you be changing the Cybermen next so it doesn't upset our friends with prosthetic, which should be limbs? And then he says, oh, poor baby, crying emoji.
Can you send that to me? I had that first one, but I didn't have that second one. That second one is
I'll send the
awful.
link to you. Yeah, I'll send the link to you. I'll DM it to you. Yeah, this is...
This isn't the first time he's done this. A while back on Instagram, he called all Republicans cunts who he wished were dead.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
he's not even an American, by the way. So the fact that he's sticking his fucking nose and like, really?
Yeah. So this is what happens when you tie your ideology to your creativity. You destroy it. I mean, he already had sunk the ship when he said he wasn't going to retcon out the Timeless Children. That was the deal breaker for a lot of us. I mean, I didn't think he was going to do it, but when he officially did it the other week, we talked about it. Yeah, fine. I'm done. I'm only gonna watch this because Jed's making me, and then after that, we're not watching Shooty. We don't care. I mean,
I'm
you
gonna
might
watch
do
the
it.
Christmas special.
You might, yeah, you're gonna do it for review purposes, but which is acceptable.
So
but
this and Witcher are the only things I review anymore.
yeah, and for review purposes, that's acceptable. But they have alienated everybody, and this is why. This is what you don't do. You do not attack the fans, your customers, the people who you need to make your shit work. Not to mention, Doctor Who's a dead franchise here in the States.
Absolutely. Well, and it makes so much sense now that Russell T Davies is an employee of Disney, basically.
Yeah.
Because Doctor Who in the States will be distributed using Disney Plus.
Well, that Disney money's got.
It makes so much sense. Like you're talking just like a Disney exec, a Lucasfilm exec.
Yeah.
But at least there is. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say on top of that too, the BBC obviously is a giant, just garbage corporate, and it's state sponsored. So the tax dollars of the people in the UK are funding all of this, and they have no say in it. And that's absolute garbage.
It's deplorable. But there is some good news with all of this.
What?
In the United States, classic Doctor Who will be available free on demand on Tubi. You don't even need an account to watch Classic Who for free.
I saw you post that. Yeah. That's
a good thing.
It. And you know what?
Going to
find a good stopping point, and it's Doctor Who. You could stop at a be okay.
Yeah, your stopping point could be wherever works for you. Some people say they don't watch New Who. Some people say they don't watch past Tenet. Just find a good stopping point, find a good end, and it's R.I.P. Doctor Who.
Honestly, I feel like my good stopping point is The Husbands of River song for me. That's a good stopping point for me.
That is a very good one as well. But the super chat that just came in mentioned it. In that clip too, Dre, he said canon and history is falling apart.
And Jay Fraser, 360 for 10 pounds. Canon isn't a word we take seriously. RTD, DW Magazine, 2007. After he said this, I knew as a fan from that day who RTD is, and nothing he has done then or since has surprised me. Hashtag RIP Doctor Who. I didn't know that. Line. Did you know that line?
I was not aware of that. I'm going to look it up right now because I'm getting ready to do another RTD video tomorrow on him, so I can add that in.
Yeah, that's well, that again. Canon is king.
Always has been.
It's kind of like what happened with The Last Jedi, right? So like Ryan Johnson came in and he's like, well, I wanted to make my own Star Wars movie. And it's like, well, newsflash, dude, you're making a movie that's meant to be a part of a trilogy. So I don't know where you thought you were just going to come in and make your own movie and do whatever the hell you wanted, because you needed to continue the story, and he just didn't.
Not to mention, he has to work with the rules set up by George Lucas. Yes. You don't get to break the lore because Dave Filoni says you can.
This is the modern take, and obviously you can see, but this is back in 2007 that RTD said this. They've had this thought for a while now, and it's just now until when fans finally started pushing back, saying, "Hey, we don't like this. You're messing everything up," and their attitude is, "Well, I'm the one making it, so I'm going to make it however I want." And if you don't like it, don't watch it. It's like, well, now we're not watching it. And it took a long time, but congratulations. These movies flopping at the box office is exactly why, because of your attitude.
Yep. And real fans walk away.
Yes.
We walk away. We will celebrate things that we loved when they were good. And then we're going to remind you, because I say this all the time. We were here first, not the tourists, not the SJWs, not the stands. We were here first. And that is why when the whole Star Wars thing began and I was able to claw my way back when Last Jedi happened, I was in the midst of clawing my way back to liking real Star Wars again. And I climbed out of my black pill, and it dawned on me, if I let them take this shit away from me, that means they win. And I'm not going to tell people not to get apathy. I'm going to hope people don't get black pilled. But my reminder is for everything, not just Star Wars, but for Doctor Who, but for Star Trek, for Lord of the Rings, all this stuff. Remember, you are the passionate real fan. You were there first. These fake fans, these tourists, these stands, they don't get to walk in and say it's mine now just because a corporation signed a document. They don't get to do that and celebrate on one. No, we were here first. We are the ones who say whether or not something's legitimate, because guess what? It's our money. It's our money
Mhm.
that makes these things live on. And
Well,
we're getting that proved every day. So thanks, Jay Fraser, for the 10 pounds.
It's something that I say a lot. Just because these companies have the rights to do something doesn't mean they have the right to do it.
Hey, yo, are you feeling what I'm doing up in here? Oh, I know you are. Do you miss all the good, compelling stories that we used to get back in Hollywood that they ain't putting down no more? Oh, I know you missing it. So check out my book series, Odyssey of a Phoenix, a mythological epic about philosophy, morality, and modern day mental illness issues, baby. Book 1, Down in Flames. Book 2, Apocalypse Then. These are currently on sale. What are you waiting for? Get your hands on them. And we got book 3, Kill the Dark, is coming down the pipeline. Just wait for all the good stuff that's dropping. You ain't gonna be disappointed, fam.